Oddity is the second film from Damian McCarthy. His first was Caveat, which is streaming on Shudder right now and is very strange, and you should check it out sometime. It's a very, very good low-budget indie horror film. And this film follows a woman who's trying to uncover the truth behind her sister's death with the help of a very off-putting wooden mannequin. But before we go any further, I do want to thank the sponsor for this video, A24 and Lionsgate. I wanted to let you guys know that Alex Garland's excellent action thriller Civil War is out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. This was a brutal, bleak look at a fictionalized future America that featured standout performances from Kirsten Dunst, Kaylee Spaney, and Jesse Plemons in a scene-stealing moment that was pretty terrifying. The Blu-ray is stacked with special features like an in-depth 6-part making-of documentary called Torn Asunder, Waging Alex Garland's Civil War, from noted special features producer Charles D. Luzarica, producer of making-of documentaries for Blade Runner and 5 Alien films. And the Amazon-exclusive 4K Ultra HD edition also features an exclusive lenticular cover and bonus disc with South by Southwest Q&A with Alex Garland, Kirsten Dunst, Kaylee Spaney, and Wagner Moura. I really miss Blu-rays filled with special features, and I'm really happy this release is going to have a lot of supplemental material. Lengthy documentaries and featurettes are one of the biggest reasons I got into owning physical media in the first place, and rewatching those is one of the easiest ways to get a great film education. Again, thank you very much to A24 and Lionsgate. You can purchase Civil War on Blu-ray, available everywhere now. I heard great things from Oddity out of film festivals. Everyone who had seen it that I had spoken to was like, this movie's really cool, really different, very strange, very scary. All of these things are true. Having seen Caveat, that's what I expected. That film used a small bunny to build suspense, and this film is doing it with a much larger prop, a wooden mannequin. And my friends who saw this movie at festivals were absolutely right. Oddity is a very disturbing movie, and it creates a lot of great suspense and tension, almost entirely through brilliant editing and incredible sound design, but in particular one subversion of what we're sort of used to experiencing in a horror movie, and that is that usually it's about the unknown. It's about what we don't see. It's not about what's right in front of us. It's about what's lurking behind the corner or in the woods or outside of our house or underneath our bed or in our closet. Hitchcock famously talks about the bomb underneath the table, the people sitting around the table. If the bomb just blows up and we weren't aware of it being there, it's a surprise. But if we allow the audience to know the bomb is underneath the table, but the characters don't know, and we are now waiting for them to either find out or for the bomb to explode, that creates suspense. It's a classic Hitchcock thing. Everyone always references it. What I found so unique about Oddity's approach and how McCarthy builds suspense is that this wooden mannequin is sitting right in front of us. It's there in the room, we're very aware of it, we see it all the time, and yet every time we were around that thing, it scared the shit out of me. I was waiting for it to move, to do something, and it's very, very hard to do, to put the thing you're supposed to be scared of right in front of the audience, have it just be in plain sight, and have it do that to you. And it really got under my skin, and McCarthy does something very unique here with the structure, in that we are shown events, and we kind of understand, at least we think we do, how they played out, and it all makes sense, and the movie is able to continue along, and we think we know what happened. But throughout the movie, you begin to realize that things we thought happened a certain way didn't quite happen that way. Characters that we once trusted, maybe we shouldn't have. And I just want to throw praise at McCarthy's screenplay for being able to tell a movie that makes sense perfectly fine, until you learn that there are other things going on, and then it still makes sense. You're not confused while you're watching it, even though he's withholding information from you. I watched this movie with a buddy of mine, and him and I watch a lot of scary movies together. We've seen everything, and nothing really scares us, really. I mean, you can call a film scary, but you know you're watching a movie, and there's a part of you that understands that. And the definition of what scary even means is completely subjective for the viewer. Some people are very much so bothered by jump scares, and to them saying a movie is scary is how many times they jumped. And some people are just about tone and feel. Others are about imagery, sound, whatever. We all have our own ways of approaching what a scary movie actually is. But it's very rare that I find a movie that actually does make me feel fright or dread, does disturb me in some way. And now that I've seen so many of them, when I was a kid there were tons, but now that I've seen so many, it's tough to find one. Long Legs did that for me this year. The First Omen at times also. And I will say Oddity is part of that camp. This movie has a great way of building a real sense of dread in your gut. And I felt it for most of the runtime. And it's deceptively simple in that you're with a few characters in a few locations. You're not going to a lot of different places, and the film isn't spending a lot of money on the screen necessarily. But it feels so huge in the way McCarthy has structured it, in the way he's broken up events, and in the way that he allows us to learn about these characters. As far as sophomore films go, this is exceedingly better than Caveat, which I also liked. This is clearly like, okay, he was given the time and some money and allowed to make the movie he wanted to make. I know this because I interviewed him for my podcast, pre-production, and that's going to be dropping in a few days. I hope you guys enjoy the interview. He's a really nice guy. But this to me is the perfect example of what a filmmaker can do after they've done the really hard thing and they finally got a movie made. Maybe not exactly how they wanted to, but they got the movie made. And now somebody, in this case Shudder, came along and said, hey, we see you, we support you, here's some money, go make your thing. And it's so nice to see a filmmaker's second film flourish to this extent, because oftentimes sophomore movies, you have a hard time with that. You hear about the sophomore slump. Not in the case of Oddity. I love this movie. I don't want to ruin anything about it. I think you guys should all see it. It's going to be in theaters July 19th and then eventually on Shudder. It's a really good movie. It's a good horror film. If you get a chance to see it, definitely check it out, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.